I have the distinct honor of being the first speaker. I don't usually work from notes, but then I usually preach for an hour. So I'll be working from notes, so you have to excuse me. We stand here today on ground once trod upon by men whose names are woven into the fabric of our nation and onto the hearts of every true patriot. Men like Benjamin Franklin, Thomas Jefferson, and Patrick Henry on this very plot would discuss the absolute need for a clearly defined Bill of Rights, because the tyrannical government that ruled them for so long had denied them these rights. They knew that the tools of tyranny were, one, to stifle free speech, regardless of how dissenting that speech may be. And yet today, we have jackbooted thugs using a private army called the IRS, squelching the right of conservatives to speak as they may. They knew that for the state to establish religion meant that the state would capture your soul. Today, you can be any religion that you want, or none at all. You just can't be a Christian or a Jew unless you want to be labeled a terrorist. And they knew that to disarm the people was to turn them from citizens into subjects. And we will not be subjects of a socialist state. We are Americans! America today is in earnest toying with the idea of socialism and totalitarianism. So it is only fitting that I quote from one of the best speakers of that camp, Joseph Goebbels. If you tell a lie often enough or big enough, it will be believed. Let's look at some of the lies. Assault rifles need to be banned. The truth: there are no such things as assault rifles. At least not commonly held in the hands of civilians. Now tell me, how can you ban something that nobody has? Number two, high-capacity magazines enable you to kill more people quickly. Truth: unarmed people stand virtually no chance against an aggressor who has a gun. When you're being shot at, you are not counting bullets. You're either busy shooting back or busy dying. The unarmed only have one of those choices. Lie number three: gun crimes have gone up. Truth: gun crimes have gone down. In fact, in the last 20 years, while gun ownership has gone up, all crimes where a gun was used have gone down. Perhaps the fact that in the last 20 years, many states have gone from a may issue state to a shall issue state for the purpose of concealed weapons. And in fact, many have gone to constitutional carry, requiring no permit to carry a firearm. You know, perhaps criminals just don't like the concept of attacking someone who's liable to shoot back. Lie number four: stronger gun controls will make our streets safer. Heck, if that were true, Chicago would be the safest place on earth. In 25 states, no license or permit is necessary to carry a firearm on your hip. The majority of violent crimes are committed in the other 25 states. Lie number, we're up to 4, 5. Barack Obama is a U.S. citizen and a Christian who has the best interests of America at heart. Truth? Well, why belabor these points? He's none of those things. Laws that forbid the carrying of firearms disarm only those who are neither inclined nor determined to commit crimes. Such laws make things worse for the assaulted and better for the assailants. They serve rather to encourage than to prevent homicides. If an unarmed man may be attacked with greater confidence than an unarmed, for an unarmed man may be attacked with greater confidence than an unarmed man. The fact is, that is not a quote from the National Rifle Association, but rather from Thomas Jefferson himself. All right, one last one. Joe Biden is usually sober when he talks about guns on TV. Oh, come on. No one's ever going to believe that. But since my drunk uncle wanted the clergy to preach gun control from the pulpit, I, as a member of the clergy, am going to support him in that. I would like all of you this week to go out to a local range, practice with your firearm, get good with it, because gun control means being able to hit your target. We can all clearly see that even a fool knows that the proposed legislation being pushed by the likes of Michael Bloomberg, Rahm Emanuel, Dianne Feinstein, oh, she needs a bigger one, one-term Pat Toomey on a stick, and of course Barack Hussein Abdullah Mohammed Obama and his other henchmen will do nothing to prevent crime. What then could be their reason? To quote Patrick Henry, I smell a rat. The agenda is clear. They want socialism, and socialism demands an unarmed and docile populace. By a show of hands here, how many of you here today served in the armed forces of the United States? Hold your hands up. Hold your hands up. Can we get a big round of applause for those men and women? Come on, you can do better than that. They put their lives on the line. Ladies and gentlemen of the military, I ask you this. Did you risk your lives to protect the constitutional republic set forth by our founding fathers, or the socialist state now being crafted in Washington? You bet. You bet. What is happening here today in our country is a disgrace to you and a disgrace to our founding fathers. Their blood cries out from the ground, demanding that we together hold the line. We must protect the Constitution that was given to us. We must not allow a new definition of the words, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. We're not going to let it redefine that to be anything other than it is my right and your right to keep as many arms as we have the desire and the means to do so, to protect our families, to protect our nation, to preserve the Union. I leave you with these immortal words from Patrick Henry. And yes, I do admire that man an awful lot. The Constitution is not an instrument for the government to restrain the people. It is an instrument for the people to restrain the government. Let us today, one with another, commit to honoring those words and do all that we may to restrain our government and to protect the Union. May God bless you and thank you.